Every year in my city, a group of teenagers raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for charity. In 4 months. How do they do that? I know plenty of experienced adult fundraisers who can't meet that level of success in that short period of time. In this video, I'll dive into how I and others, including the teenagers themselves, think that they're pulling it off. Welcome back. My name is Amber Melanie Smith. If this is your first time here, I am a nonprofit founder, executive director, and speaker on social impact, leadership, service, and more. I make weekly videos here on YouTube to help aspiring change makers with tips and strategies to help you change the world while living a life of impact and purpose. So every year, myself and other nonprofit professionals in our area have just marveled at the success of Enloe High School's Enloe Charity Ball. So the Enloe Charity Ball has been coordinated for the past 15 years by the Enloe High School Student Council and student body. And it has grown a huge amount since that first year when it raised about $2,000 as part of a contest between the different grade levels to see who could raise the most money for charity, to now, this year, raising $207,000. But what is really striking is that they do it in just 4 or less months. So over the course of a few months during usually the fall semester of their school, here's basically how the process works. First, they put out a call to local charities to apply to be their partner for the year. So nonprofits around the area will apply, and then the student council will vet the nonprofits. They'll look through the applications and they'll pick a handful to move on to the next level of the application process. They interview their top choices and then end up picking their final charity, usually just before the school year begins. So some of the prep work is being done over the semester or over the summer between school years. Once a charity is selected, they announce the partnership to the public and begin a series of smaller campaigns and events to raise awareness and raise money throughout the semester, leading up to one big event, the Enloe Charity Ball, that is the culmination of everything else and totals of all the money that has been raised throughout the past several months and money raised through the charity ball itself to provide that grand total of amount raised to the charity that they chose. Fundraising is done through these small events such as art shows or bake sales, etc. So smaller things leading up to the larger event. Also through sponsorship asks, through grant applications, and good old-fashioned pitch meetings where they're going in to talk to a potential funder, making their case and hoping for the best. I've talked extensively in past videos about how it's so amazing. The world does not give teenagers enough credit, but the fact is that with some planning, preparation, and hard work, kids can make a huge impact, and when it happens, adults are left in awe and inspired and hopefully will take action and do a little bit more as well. Like the rest of us and the best of us, I have personally struggled with fundraising, and it's just hard out there when you are a nonprofit to get together the funds that you need to stay afloat and make an impact. So the fact that these kids are able to raise this much money, I mean, think about it. To many organizations, what they raise could cover an entire year's worth of operations and programming, if not more. So really depending on the charity, this is making an enormous impact for whatever nonprofit they choose. I really wanted to understand how they were having this much success because I really think that adults could learn a lot from their strategies. And in talking to the teens themselves, some of their parents and outside observers, other nonprofit professionals in the area, I came up with 4 strategies that I think are really helping them succeed. Okay, so the first strategy that I have observed them doing that I think is really helpful to any effort to help charity and especially a large scale fundraising campaign is delegating. So each person, each leader in the student council has a very specific role that they play and that they own. So I talked to logistics coordinator. So this person was making sure the big event, the charity ball, was running smoothly, had everything it needed, and was going to work. Fundraising, sponsorship chairs, volunteer chairs, everything that it takes to make the whole shebang work out. The second strategy that's really, really important in any organization that the Enloe Student Council did really well was helping out and making fundraising efforts towards their end goal just be part of the culture of not just the student council, but of the entire school. So even though on the student council itself, each person had a special role that they owned and that they played towards the end goal, each one of them also undertook some fundraising responsibilities, asking parents, friends, others in their network for support. When you make something like helping out or fundraising part of your community culture or organizational culture, just make it part of that identity, then people are going to be much more likely to do it because they want to fulfill this image and this idea of, and their own idea for themselves of who they think they are. So when you say something like, well, we are the type of person who would help out the community. They want to live up to that standard and that vision of themselves, so making it part of the culture will encourage them to do just that. This has the added effect of increasing fundraising potential because there's about 2,500 students at that school, and each club, each class is challenged to sort of do their part towards the end goal. So you've got different clubs hosting miniature events, miniature campaigns, concerts, dance recitals, etc., all towards the big goal. So they're all working together as a collective.
My name is Mackenzie Shatilla. I'm the Vice President of Governing Procedures and Logistics for Enloe Charity Ball. I like to call it organized chaos. This big ball comes through 2 months of teamwork, hard work, passion, and feeling alive with purpose. This comes through reaching out to the community, believing in themselves to host events and go out. We've had student council members go canvas, go carol in the rain, just because they care about this so very much. This wouldn't be possible without our community. It wouldn't be possible without our student council members putting so much time and dedication into this mission. I wouldn't spend my time anywhere else.
Another great aspect of making Enloe Charity Ball and the responsibility of fundraising part of the school's culture and identity is that every year, when different leaders cycle into the student council and you get new students in and students graduating, you have a constant influx of fresh ideas and new people with new energy. And this really helps prevent something that gets experienced adult fundraisers all the time, and that is burnout. So when you have people getting a new chance to participate each year and kind of bringing your term to a close and concluding it with pride and satisfaction as to all you've been able to accomplish, then you get to escape that burnout feeling that often exhausts nonprofit professionals and perhaps makes us less successful than we could be. The third strategy that I think really helped the Enloe Charity Ball succeed is the group's focus on authentic emotion and storytelling. So many others that I talk to in the community agree that when you talk to these teens who are doing this, they just have this glow, this authentic passion that just comes out, and it's hard not to root for that. And on the storytelling side, we see in fundraising and in any kind of marketing, honestly, that storytelling and talking about the personal impact of something is going to be a bit more effective than sharing hard data and statistics, which I observed the team doing very little of, focusing way more on that storytelling piece.
I think it's because the kids they're sincere in their desire to help people, and that comes across to all the people that they ask to help contribute towards the charity ball.
The fourth strategy that I alluded to earlier is the use of social capital. So social capital is, of course, the ability of your collective network to get something done or to acquire a resource. So Thinking of how there's 2,500 students there, they all have, families, parents, friends, teachers, etc. That's a pretty extensive community to potentially draw resources from. So, how this translates to other fundraising efforts is just think about how you can make something relatable enough that others will want to participate. And the fifth strategy I saw that was really inspiring was there was a heavy focus on recognizing and appreciating those who donated and participated on all levels.
So what is that? So this is actually our donor tree. This is one of the ways that we recognized our donors. Ways that we do our fundraising is through reaching out to community members, and these people have been so gracious enough to believe in us and our mission, which is to be alive with purpose. And we decided to recognize them with this tree.
Okay, so let's summarize all this and translate it into some actionable items for the rest of us. How can we take what we've learned from these amazing teenagers and try to improve our own fundraising success for the causes we care about? So here are a couple of ideas. Number one, people power. So you want to think about ways that you can mobilize the community to do the fundraising for and with you. Two things are really key to being able to do this. The first is to make participation easy. So don't make it a big barrier to get involved, to sign up, to begin helping out. The second piece is you really want to equip your supporters with the tools they need to succeed. Do not assume that all of them know how to articulate your mission, how the fundraising will help without your guidance. So you want to provide that language. You want to explain to them how the fundraising will support your cause, your mission. Give them that language and that information up front before they even sign up so that they know how to be the best advocate for your efforts possible. The second thing is year-round, all the time, you want to be ingraining fundraising and participating in the success of your organization's efforts throughout the whole year into team culture. So sharing this idea that fundraising is not just for the people whose title is fundraiser. Anybody and everyone in the organization, from all board of directors, volunteers, staff, anyone should be and could be helping support the work of fundraising to support the organization. Encouraging passionate storytelling is the third strategy we can take from this. Ask the people who support you in your network why they got involved. It's going to be about their personal story of involvement that's going to encourage the other people, the other friends in their own networks to get involved. Not someone else's story, but their story. So give them the tools to be able to reflect on what that story is so that they can articulate it to others. And the fourth is the all-important thank you. You want to build a donor appreciation mechanism right into all fundraising efforts from the very beginning planning stages. That's all I got. Thank you so much for joining me once again. My name is Amber Melanie Smith, and I make these weekly videos here on YouTube about social impact, nonprofits, service leadership, and more. I really hope that this was helpful to you, got your wheels turning. Please go ahead and give my video a thumbs up to let me know that you liked it, and subscribe so that you can catch my next videos. Ring that little bell so you can get alerts when they come out. And if you're on Facebook, one final comment here. If you're on Facebook, check out my group, Change the World or Bust, where I and other change makers are having conversations about how we can all work together to make a difference in the world. Thanks again, and see you next time.